So the terminology here for a crane is you really have no moving mechanical advantages, all right? And we're basically rigging the Stokes basket up. We may have an attendee, we may not. An attendee would be, you know, one of us with the patient, and we're basically like a crane, and we're going to fly that person, you know, traditionally from a rooftop or some sort of construction site would be the most often used, and then crane them down to the ground. So maybe you had a construction worker that fell down and broke their femur, or had a medical emergency, and we decided this is going to be the easiest way to get them off onto the ground. All right, pounds each. So if we capture both those rigging rings, 250 plus 250. 500. Good. I never like to do math in public, so I get a little nervous. I let you guys do it. Like, I'm just testing you guys. So we're going to drop that thing right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rig this up first with nobody inside. That way, you know, everybody can be involved with that rigging. And then we will, if anyone wants to, we'll put a victim in there and basically crane you to the roof and back down. Cool? So the first method I'm going to use is, you see those two straps that are similar in size? We'll go ahead and grab those guys there. And we will need 4 carabiners total. So all I'm doing is taking this rigging ring and finding a way to attach it to what's called our bridle, which is that black strap there, which we'll do next. So I'm always bad about doing this. Like, as I'm showing you guys, I start doing it, and I want you guys to kind of do it. So I'll walk you through what we're doing here. And you can set that bridle down for me first, guys. We won't get to that yet. And we need to take the a carabiner clipped in there to one ring, same thing to the other one right here. And what we've done with the strap is made what's called a basket, right? Anytime we have a bite in this strap, it's called a basket. The only reason why I did the basket on here is to shorten these straps up, okay? Because they're quite long. Typically for this, I would have something, you know, maybe a little bit shorter, but we're gonna rock with this. Cool? So this is the basket part of the strap. All right, always give these things a check. And for, you know, old school rope guys, you'll be like, oh, you gotta have the gates going down, right? So never had one vibrate on me though like that. So what we're gonna do is now take the other carabiner and go right on that, that bite there. Awesome. So now, yep, say I got a 250-pound victim on there, and this ring or this entire strap were to fail, what load goes onto this? All 250, right? So right now, by doing this, I'm splitting 250, right? So we're gonna keep that system as such, all right? So that's the goal of capturing both those straps to get 500 total. If one were to fail, I'm not gonna overload the other one, right? If I had just myself and a victim and we totaled 500, yeah, that's probably okay in nothing failing. But as soon as one of these were to fail, now we have 500 on something that's rated for 250, okay? If we get into attendee with your group, we'll basically add a third strap back here, and that's kind of what I call our warm and fuzzy, which is kind of our safety. You'll hear me say a warm and fuzzy, all right? Now what we need to do is rig our bridle system there, which is that black part. You have those larger carabiners, and those are going to go around the bars right through here. Right on the outside there, that's fine. If we do any other vertical bar, you'll actually tend to side load yeah, you want it to where it has little room to move there. That's a good spot there. Awesome. Anytime you guys are hooking up a carabiner, just go ahead and get in the habit of locking that carabiner. It's just a good habit to get in, even if you just plan on talking about it for a split second. It just kind of builds good repetition. Now we're gonna lift this bridle system, and this is called the bull ring. And we're gonna take this bull ring and we're gonna attach these two carabiners to that. Awesome. Make sure the straps are nice and straight and there's no twist or loops in them. There you go, that looks good. Now if I can get an operator, all we're gonna do is lift this and put weight on the system to make sure all our straps and carabiners are good to go. You wanna call the shots, so a raise and a stop will be what we're about to use. So you just make eye contact with him once he gets over there.
I take your sunglasses
Keep going. Keep going. And stop. He can come back over here now.
Good.
You guys could buckle these for me just to kind of clean it up so it's a little easier for you guys to follow everything. We don't have a bunch of stuff dangling. All right, so right off the bat, what looks like it needs to be adjusted? Head for sure. Before we even do that, we got to take care of these two guys right here with these twists. So let's disconnect that and rotate those to where they're not twisted.
Go out a little farther. Go out farther on the head, right?
So our head, we just need to adjust these so the head is elevated, right? So adjust the head side. Yep.
Lift the head up.
We could also lower these too.
There you go.
Yep, so just lift here and pull. I want the head more elevated than the feet so we can let the feet out. Just pop that, lower, lower, lower. How's that look? Let me step back. Yeah, not bad. Perfect. Awesome. Is anybody here comfortable tying a prusik cord to this rope here? The wrap 3? Anybody done that?
Okay. That's some bayshore shit right there.
Nah, awesome. Now these are a little short, so let's take this. We'll take a red one, and we'll just girth it on the end of that. Just a girth hitch.
I can do that.
It doesn't matter. Don't.
It dresses it up. I got OCD. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, to be super perfect, we would offset that knot.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's fine.
All right.
That's fine, just like that. All right. Now I'll take a carabiner here. This becomes our victim safety, right? So the victim would be placed in a harness, whether it be their own, at maybe a window washer went down and they have their own that's in service. We lashed one with webbing, or we gave them one of our harnesses, okay? The benefit of doing this is anytime we need to move at any point, we could. We're just set up to do that already, okay? I could just throw a simple butterfly in this and go straight to the victim there as well if you wanted to even clean this up even more, okay? So that's going to our victim there. This guy can either just free fall like that, or you can, you know, wrap it up and lay it on the patient's legs. Anytime you're gonna work with this orange rope, and for us, we would always just keep a stopper knot on it, especially when we get to an attendee that's gonna wanna move up and down the line. Obviously, if I got to the end, I don't wanna just fall. I wanna have some sort of stopper knot there, okay? So that's all that stopper knot is doing there, all right?
This is if this basket fails.
What's that?
This is if the basket fails, he's
Correct.
still attached to this.
Correct, if the basket fails, but the baskets won't fail. Yeah. So, a lot of it
fails.
Yeah. So remember what I said earlier in the week 2, what's the weakest link of this entire system? This $1 million fire truck. That has the weakest rating of all of it. All right, well, actually technically the rigging rings do. So, awesome. So the last thing we need to do is a tagline. So we'll use this white rope here. And if we're gonna put somebody on the roof, we'll go ahead and tag our tie our tagline. Y'all can move this blue rope out of the way so we're not stepping on it. I appreciate it. And we're gonna do a tagline. And all a tagline does is allows somebody to keep the basket from blowing in the wind and have some sort of control of the basket. Now, a simple way is just to throw figure 8 on the bite, one carabiner to the head or the feet, and yeah, you could maintain some control of that. Anytime we can kind of capture the head and the feet at the same time, you're gonna get a lot more control by making a triangle here, all right? A quick way that I like doing it is I just do, down here by the feet, I do 2 round turns around this upright. And somebody could just help feed through. And I'm gonna come down to the head here. And I'm going to grab around the head and do 2 more round turns. All right, and I'll pull slack through. About like that. Who wants to tie me a figure 8 on a bite? Figure 8 on a bite there. Here can either be an inline 8 or a butterfly. Anyone?
Inline 8.
Inline 8?
I don't know what a butterfly is.
So not a figure 8 on a bite, an inline 8. You need to be about yay.
I don't know an inline 8 then. I know
Okay.
a bite,
Okay.
but I don't know an inline.
All right, so butterfly is usually the easier knot to learn. All right, for me personally, I wrap my hand, right? So I'm gonna one wrap, and I'm gonna cross on my second wrap, cross on my third wrap. And for me, for this to work, you wrap from your fingertips towards your body, okay? I'm gonna take my middle rope, which was my second wrap, I'm gonna pull it towards me, wrap it towards my body side, push it towards my finger side, grab that bite, kind of dress it, pull these two tails, taut, and there is a butterfly knot, okay? Just kind of dress it up, tighten it up. And that's what we're looking for a butterfly, okay?
1, 2, 3, middle, 8, 1.
Yep, that's the way I do it. There's some other ways, but inline 8 is a little bit, or directional 8, I like to call it inline 8, I'm a little more slang, but a directional 8 is a little bit more tricky. So you take a bite, and a typical figure 8 and a bite should be, you know, pretty common fire service knot, so everyone should be familiar with that. What I'm gonna do for an inline is I gotta ask myself, do I want it to go right or left? So if I want it to go right, I'm actually gonna drop the right line and tie my figure 8 on a bite on one line instead of two. So all I'm doing is tying a normal figure 8 on a bite, but I'm using that one line, and now my knot is facing right, okay? And if that's what I wanted, I could do that there, okay? And if I wanted the knot to face the other way, I would tie the knot the other way. So I tied it this way, so now I'm gonna tie it this way. And what that is it puts the knot in line with the rope, okay? Same thing a butterfly does. The butterfly could actually get pulled in both directions, whereas a directional 8 is only pulled in one direction, all right? So that's a little advanced knot there. But for this, I'll stick with a butterfly. So 1, 2, 3, middle rope, push it through, pull the tails, dress it up,
This rope.
butterfly. All right. Now we're gonna take a carabiner. That is a
No?
no.
I was trying to watch you, but it was
Yeah.
hard to
Oh,
see
oh,
that.
butterfly. You're just
Yeah,
holding
butterfly?
it wrong. I thought you were trying to do some sort of
Oh,
figure
no.
eight. Yeah, that is a butterfly.
That's
Correct.
a butterfly?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Carabiner to here.
I like that.
All right.
Awesome. So now as the, and we can kind of even this triangle up. So pull slack for me, guys. So this somewhat gets evenly distributed. There we go. So now by doing those two round turns, I do have a nice grip of actually controlling this basket. If I were just to kind of loop a big triangle, all the rope's just gonna slip through itself. So with those two round turns, they're just friction points to be able to really allow me to control this, pull it off the wall if I needed to, and maneuver it like that, okay? So this looks, I know it's, you know, for y'all, maybe not tech, this might be a little bit difficult, but this is pretty simple. This is, in our world, this is pretty simple system here, okay? I think for y'all's rigging, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have a very large carabiner where we would go large carabiner to the bull ring to the two loops up there. That's a way, I guess, right?
We're actually in the process of reworking it, so this
Okay.
is fantastic.
Okay, cool.
Go into it, so.
Okay, cool. So I won't even go into that though. This is very, very industry standard right here. This is very industry standard to have two webbing links there, or straps links to our bridle with a simple tagline. If you don't need to have an attendee, there's no point for us to go on rope, right? Just a safety thing. Why put us at harm if the person's comfortable flying by themselves? This is a 2-story roof coming down. You know, it's going to be a quick operation. But if they medically need an attendee, you know, for us, our rescuers are always our paramedics. And if they need to be having CPR performed on them, they need to be drugs being given while we're flying them around, we will have an attendee. Or if they're just petrified of heights, which is very common, we will have an attendee there, and they're literally just there coaching them the whole way down, okay? Cool, so that's kind of our rule of thumb. Do we attend, do we not? Depends on patient condition, whether it be medically or just psychotically, if they can't handle being up on a basket by themselves, all right? But we will always have a tagline. Awesome. So what we'll do now, guys, is we'll lower this system down. We're gonna break it all down, and then if anyone's comfortable, we'll put them as a victim, and then we'll add one little step where we gotta lasso some webbing, and we'll go over that, and then we'll fly them up, no attendee, we'll fly them up to the roof and back down.